morning, Gary.
Good morning, Judy. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you for asking.
Good.
I'm here with Garry Barankin, a Dundas lawyer on King Street in beautiful downtown Dundas, and I'm going to be asking you some questions.
I understand. I can't wait.
Good, I'm glad to hear that, Gary. That's the kind of spirit I like.
Let's get at it.
You bet. Just tell us a little bit, please. Why did you choose the profession of being a lawyer, if you would?
Well, my parents would say that I like to argue a lot, so that was a natural progression. But that's kind of the funny, simplistic answer. I think I've always been interested my whole life in justice and the history of the country and law in general, and how it underlies our system of government, our system of commerce. There's, even though you might not see it, there's legal underpinnings to just about everything. And that's what helps us support the free and democratic society that we enjoy
There you go.
and love.
Where did you go to school?
Well, I graduated law school at the University of British Columbia out in Vancouver, and came back to Ontario. That's where just about all my family and friends from my undergraduate years were. So, and I have a business degree from Queen's University, and that's a good combination. It gives, especially on when we do business deals and we do mortgages for our real estate clients. I know what I'm talking about.
That's always helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So you do real estate law, I know that because I've worked with you. And what other kind of law do you do?
So, well, on the real estate side, of course, we do purchases, sales, we do mortgages, but sometimes people also need changes in title, whether when somebody has passed away or when they want to rearrange how they own a property with their children, and that has to do with estate planning. So that's the other area with the major area of our practice is estate planning and wills and estates. And sometimes there's an interplay between that and the real estate side of things. So we do wills, powers of attorney, and of course estates when somebody passes.
Right.
Kind of the other area, the third main area of solicitor work. So solicitor means we stay out of the courtroom for the most part. Is corporate work, incorporations and business agreements, sales and purchases of businesses, and commercial leases. But for the most part, real estate and wills and estates are, especially in Dundas, there's an older population, and it's an important thing for people to have done for their peace of mind, that everything will be done according to their wishes.
Yeah. And we're in a particularly beautiful building in Dundas. It's the yellow and white one that used to be Lee and Lee.
That's
Is that
right.
right? And it's been a law practice for how many years?
Well, actually, over 100 years. Since the 1800s, there were lawyers in this building, with just maybe a short gap of a couple of years when a jewelry store came in. But
Yeah.
Lee and Lee were a father and son. They practiced after the Second World War for about 50 years, from about the late 40s to the 90s, and then William J. Wilkins took over for about 20 years, and then we've taken over from him about 5-6 years ago. I live in Dundas, so it's a great opportunity, and I know a lot of the clients socially as well.
Of course,
so
it's
nice.
it's so easy just to walk up and down King Street, isn't it, to the different shops and restaurants.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We love it. We used to come down here when we lived on the mountain. My wife and I would just come down to walking up and down the streets, a window shop, and also shop.
Yeah.
And it's a fully functioning
Absolutely,
downtown.
Yeah.
It reminded us of going to places like Niagara on the Lake or Stratford, but it's not a tourist trap. The store is actually,
Right.
for the most part,
with you.
locals.
There's things here you can actually purchase and use as opposed to just things that are
Absolutely.
pretty to buy. And
My wife loves, terraware.
yeah.
The bakery, of course. And
You're right next
just
to the
about-
printed word, is it? Next door or?
We're next to Miles Travel.
Miles Travel,
And Gord Crickshank, the owner of Crickshank, is next door.
Next door,
Excellent clothier.
Yeah.
And so we're right by the banks, the banking district almost,
Yeah.
So we sometimes have walk-ins that need documents
Yeah.
notarized or witnessed, so happy to do that always.
And you have an office in Hamilton as well?
We have a downtown office. My partners and my partners have been there together for 40 years, and I've been with them for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So our office downtown is at 4 Houston Street South, which is right next to the courthouse. It's perfect going to City Hall if necessary,
Yeah.
and the old registry office. But I do find that things are downtown isn't what it used to be in terms of needing to be there. Clients are spread out all over the place,
Yeah.
and they live in on the west end, the east end, the mountain,
Right.
and so sometimes getting downtown can be a little bit of a hassle.
Right.
But it's this would be I want to call that our satellite office, but they're both fully staffed, and I'm in both offices both days. And with technology, of course, it's much easier to do
Yeah.
than it used to be, and we can service clients from either location,
Yeah.
wherever they may prefer to meet.
And you do speak a second language, that being.
I speak Russian.
Yeah.
I was born in Russia. I took some classes even at Queen's University to improve it, even because I was just 7 years old when we arrived in Canada. So I do seem to get all the Russian speaking
Yeah. So
local clients
it is useful
when they're
to have.
looking for.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great.
So I
Yeah.
speak it well enough that we can communicate and understand each other, and I can
Very
do
good.
legal documents if necessary
Yeah.
for clients.
And is there any particularly, say, memorable experience with respect to your profession that comes to mind? Something interesting or fun or unusual?
Well, for the most part, real estate is not the most exciting thing in the world. There does happen to be, when we're stressed out over something, it's usually not a good thing.
Yeah.
The clients and myself too. Nobody likes uncertainty, so.
Yeah.
Probably the area when there's more unusual things that we see of all kinds is in the estate planning and the administration of estates,
Yeah.
where you see family relationships
Yeah,
of all kind, from the most idyllic and kind of where everybody gets along, to unfortunately situations where parents and children have lost contact with each other for one reason or another, or siblings don't get along, and that happens once in a while.
Yeah.
And
So you
we
act
just
as a
try to
bit
do
of
the
a-
best we can. A social worker sometimes,
Yeah,
almost,
sort of mediator.
I get asked questions that are, and the inclination is to just speak about the legal, your legal rights and what you can and can't do, but unfortunately sometimes the questions we have to discuss, and I always say, this isn't a legal question, it's just an
Yeah.
opinion about what somebody should do. What should I put in the will? That's not my job to tell somebody
Of
about
course.
that. Same thing with on real estate transactions. When there is an issue on a deal, I can lay out the options, but sometimes it's ultimately the client's decision about which course to take.
Yeah.
Because on just about everything, there's the spectrum is negotiate a deal, to go to court and sue, or somewhere in between.
Mhm.
And that's the nice thing about practicing both in Dundas and in Hamilton, is that we get to know the lawyers on the other side of a file, whether it's an estate file or a real estate file, where we can talk to each other and try to come to some kind of agreement,
Mhm.
where hopefully that will save the client's time and money. You can't always, if somebody wants to go to be like that,
Yeah.
the lawyer just has to do the best they can for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're not right to we're going to sue you
No, of course
kind of
not.
thing, where it seems like maybe in Toronto, where people don't know each other as much. There's so many lawyers, there's less of the personal relationships
Yeah.
between the bar.
Yeah.
So, and we know that on whatever matter we're on, we're going to be dealing with the same lawyers on other files
Mhm.
in years. So nobody wants
Oh.
to kind of take advantage.
No, you want to get along.
Your word
Mm.
is
Mhm.
important, I
Yeah.
find, and that's one of the things that is very important to myself as well, and my partners. I think that's why I stayed with them for 20 years. When right from when I first became a lawyer. So they instilled in me, and I think I had that before, but that's why we get along. We are always making sure that we are making the right ethical decisions
Yeah.
about anything. So if we're on, if a client or anybody else asks us to do something that we feel is not right, we will not do that.
Yeah. Oh, that's great, Garry. Now, what drew you to join Rotary?
Well, we moved to Dundas about 10 years ago. And my wife did some volunteering at the the school my kids are going to, and I thought it would be a good way to help, get out in the community, get to know people, and also help both the local community, well, really the local community,
Yeah.
which is important. I do feel just like most of the people that seem to live here, it's like we want to do what's good. It's like it's got the old town kind of charm. It's part of the big city, of course. Gains, and I think that's what's nice about keeping things local.
Yeah.
Because when you donate to some of the larger charities, you've made the donation, but you don't really know the end result. But the projects that we worked on, we can see, at the Veterans Park or at the driving park. That's why, and then of course we invite speakers from time to time that are speaking about certain causes important to them, and we have a chance to learn about that kind of thing and what else we can do and contribute, whether it's time or money. So
we learn a lot, don't we?
we do for sure. It's education. It's educational.
Yeah.